Stugotz here. Buying tickets to sports and concerts can be complicated, but there is a better, simpler way to buy with SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the smartest, easiest way to get tickets to live events. With SeatGeek's seamless mobile experience, you can buy and sell tickets in just 2 taps. SeatGeek helps you find the best seats at the best prices, fully guaranteed. There's nothing quite like seeing your favorite team or musician in person, and SeatGeek will get you closer to the action for a great value. I have the SeatGeek app on my phone, and it's by far the easiest way I found to shop for tickets. I could be anywhere, and with just a few taps, I can instantly find seats. SeatGeek is designed to make your ticket buying experience easier than ever. SeatGeek saves you time and money by searching multiple ticket sites to compare prices and find amazing deals. Make SeatGeek your go-to app for finding the best deals on every type of ticket, from sports and concerts to comedy and theater. Best of all, my listeners get $20 off their first SeatGeek purchase. Just download the SeatGeek app and enter promo code LeBatard today. That's LEBATARD. That's promo code LeBatard for $20 off your first SeatGeek purchase.
Hello, the Internet. It's Jack O'Brien, the founder and former editor-in-chief of Crack.com and the host of the new comedic news podcast, The Daily Zeitgeist, which, as the name suggests, is daily and sporadically in German. If you like Cracked, How Stuff Works podcasts and want to get your news from some of the smartest and funniest comedic and journalistic minds around, well then, this show is going to make you all over the place.
Yeah, I don't think we can use that.
Sure we can. Go to Apple Podcasts to listen and subscribe.
C-A-N-E-S-K! You're on, Dan!
Oh, my God, people love when you're wrong.
Yeah, Guillermo, put it on the poll. Is there anything in the world better than Dan being loud wrong? Anything in the world? And then a follow-up, what's better, great sex or Dan being loud wrong?
You were wrong.
Yes. Yes. I thought we covered that already.
Just wanted to, hammer the point home there.
Yes, I thought we covered that already. I wasn't being wrong.
Yeah.
You could thank me for that, because in order for the University of Miami to be truly back, you need some people to hate. Right? There haven't been people saying bad things about your program.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, it is sweeter rubbing it in people's face, no doubt.
Right. But you don't have that many to do it to. You got me and Feinbaum.
And he already ate his crow. Wearing a turnover chain on SportsCenter.
I'm here for it today. Is there a third person? Is there a third person out there saying bad things about the hurricane?
Yeah, but Rick Neuheisel, and he's doing it on that Moonvest vehicle that no one's watching. If a Rick Neuheisel screams in the forest, can anybody actually hear it?
I put that on the poll, Guillermo.
Great question.
If a Rick Neuheisel screams on CBS, can anyone hear it? So among the things that were wrong, the only thing I got right, Stugotz, the only thing I got right is that if my analysis was wrong, you'd know it right away.
Yeah, you nailed that.
That is correct.
And
yes.
They couldn't run the ball.
They could not.
And they averaged 8 yards a carry. And I don't think I overestimated that Notre Dame offensive line. I think I underestimated the University of Miami defensive line, because while turnovers are largely random, they become vastly less so when you can get pressure with 4.
No doubt about it. Also, when you get 4 turnovers in 4 straight games, is that what they've done?
Yes.
Yes.
Nobody's ever done that? Is that right? I
don't think anyone's ever done that.
Against Power 5 competition.
Yeah.
I saw a Bear stat. Let me dig it up.
I couldn't believe that 2 things happened in that game. One, Notre Dame simply could not run the ball, period. I can't believe that was so. They came in averaging 8 yards a carry against legitimate defenses.
Correct.
I mean, yes, there's a Wake Forest in there once in a while, but they were playing good teams, and averaging 8 yards a carry.
It hasn't happened since 2004. No team had forced 4 turnovers in 4 straight games versus Power 5 opponents until Saturday night. Miami forced 4 turnovers in 4 consecutive games versus Syracuse, North Carolina, Vatech, and Notre Dame.
The second thing that I did not realize, and look, the Pittsburgh game's going to be tough because Miami hasn't had to do any of this on the road. You've seen what they've been on the road. They barely won at North Carolina. They barely won against a 6-loss FSU team.
Saturday might be tough against Virginia.
Yes.
After all this emotion, a noon game, this is an interesting spot for Virginia.
Yes.
Yeah, but you get them at home, so that
right.
helps.
But I don't. What I'm interested in talking about, because celebrate this for a minute before you start. They've got a really easy path. And you've seen how difficult road games can be. You saw what happened to Georgia. Road games against good teams.
Yes.
Road games against good teams. You saw what happened to Georgia. You saw Alabama barely win and probably should have lost because Mississippi State controlled that entire game.
Pittsburgh's one of the few college football teams that play at a pro stadium. That venue for Pittsburgh games is everything that you thought Hard Rock Stadium was.
Right. No, it's broken. Everything's broken right for Miami, including what their road games are, because Pitt's also not any good.
Right. And that happens all the time. You're right. I mean, Washington lost at Stanford, and that essentially ended their season.
This has been a blessed schedule because I'm going to say it again. I mean, Mike Ryan, who's been largely right about everything UM-related, was worried about that Arkansas State game that was simply canceled because it was the first game of the season and it was on the road. Miami's road games are nothing. It's Duke, North Carolina, and a 6-loss FSU team. Do you guys know, I heard this week, and I didn't know it. I probably could have guessed it. Do you know what Blackman weighs, the quarterback for FSU?
63 pounds?
169 pounds.
Whoa. Oh, nice.
He's 8.4 pounds. He's an embryo.
Man, how many mistakes does that dude make in late games when they can win?
I mean, he's a true freshman. He's a high school quarterback.
Like that Clemson game was a lot closer than the final score.
Well, that's another thing that's broken Miami's way. Now it seems a lot less unreasonable. Clemson on a neutral field seems, it doesn't seem what I thought it was going to be, which was no chance.
Right. But you've always talked about, and the Canes have gotten lucky here, the 2 big games at home, Francois out when they go to Florida State, and you've always talked about, give me skill, then give me luck. And but
even that best team I've ever seen needed, at Boston College, needed Ed Reed at the end.
Right.
Boston College was driving to win, and that's the best UM team I've ever seen.
They've had some luck, but they were also unlucky, and I am sort of now buying into the whole theory that hurricane really screwed them up, and they had to kickstart their season back over. And
I don't want to talk about luck. The last 2 games, they look as good as anybody playing college football. Like that doesn't have anything to do with luck. Like they got there, okay, everything broke their way, and the lucky portion of it is that they've got both those games against young quarterbacks in a building this was the second point I was going to make. I can't believe what I'm about to say is so. I cannot believe what I'm about to say is so. That environment scared the holy hell out of Notre Dame's quarterback. Broke him.
Pretty crazy.
That kid was terrified. So terrified they had to tell him, go sit down. He could have hit on the first pass of the game for a touchdown. He had a guy open in the end zone, and he missed him. And he was a disaster after that. A disaster. Scared in a way you could see it on his face. Herb Street saying, I don't like the look in his eyes because he was scared. I can't believe that Miami summoned that environment again. Can't believe it.
Back-to-back weeks. It's crazy. The only thing that's missing is an actual old building shaking. That's the only difference. The people in there are the same people.
I can't believe what Herb Street said. That Herb Street said we go to a lot of places. I've never heard something as loud as this.
I know. It's pretty crazy. I mean, it really was. Just watching on TV, it seems. I was not there. I'm assuming Mike was. I'm assuming some of the other guys were. But, I mean, it jumped off your television. Just how loud it was there. Just how crazy it was there. So, I never imagined that the Rock could be a place that would give it such a home field. But Dan, you talk about these teams they had at home. They didn't just beat these teams; they blew out these teams. I mean, they blew out.
There is nothing bad. There is nothing bad that you can say. No, look, Virginia Tech they're not a good football team. They're okay. They're good. They're good enough.
Right, but they beat them good.
It's a top 20 team.
The way that they beat them, the way that they beat both of those teams. Do you realize that they did that to Notre Dame? While not playing well on offense? I mean, just okay. Did Richards have a catch?
I don't know if he had a catch.
Like they didn't do anything offensively.
I think he had one catch.
They didn't have to.
No, but they played clean. No, that was probably Rozier's best game.
Yeah, but Mike, they played clean because he wasn't touched all game. He was only touched when he was 20 yards downfield. Like, the way to beat Miami, the way Miami's going to lose a game will be how Virginia Tech was trying to do it, which is get pressure on that quarterback. They've been hiding that quarterback. They didn't need him.
Well, yeah, they've been holding their cards a little bit, and you see new layers to the offense each and every week. They're helping them. When they do get pressure, Rozier, you can say a lot about Rozier, some of it not good. He's decisive. He makes his decision right away if he's going to run, and he catches defense.
Oh, Mike, I think those are read options though. Like those are
right, but he's quick to he sees the hole, he takes the hole, and it's a new layer to the offense. I think your point about luck, it's they got the luck when they needed the luck, when they were really hurt. People point to that Georgia Tech game, easily could have lost that game. They were missing 6 of their top 10 players that game. Now this team is healthy for the most part. And it's not about luck. It's about imposing your will.
The last 2 games, there can be no disputing that this is one of the best defenses in the country, and I just did not see that coming.
Right, it's crazy. Richards did not have a catch, by the way.
That you could say whatever you want about whether Notre Dame. Look, I was wrong a month ago, right, when I said it looks like Penn State, Notre Dame, Clemson, and Alabama have separated themselves. All 3 of the 4 have lost, and Alabama probably should have.
You weren't alone there, by the way.
No, but what I'm saying is, nobody's really that good. And when that's the case, me underestimating this team as being good enough is wrong. You understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, I did not think they were in the class where I was placing Notre Dame and Alabama and Clemson and Penn State. But it turns out that when you play road games and difficult things happen and they're college kids and injuries, and if you go into a place at night, now they're in a position to be as good as anybody but Alabama. Like, now you cannot say now that they're going to get smoked by Clemson. Maybe they do, because Clemson will get pressure, and I have not seen Rozier play well with pressure. So maybe Clemson smokes them, or maybe Virginia gets pressure. I don't know. I have not seen when Rozier threw the 3 interceptions against Virginia Tech, it's because there was pressure. Notre Dame didn't get near him. I don't think they touched him in the backfield all game.
And if there was one time where they finally got pressure to him on one of their red zone attempts, and even Herb Street made the assessment. That's the first time Rozier's had to deal with that all game long. This season's a tremendous success.
Yeah, already, for sure.
Honestly, they could slip up here one of the next 2 games, and I'm still happy with what I've received from this team.
Mike,
I don't know about that, Mike. I mean, they lose one of these next 2.
I will remember Saturday forever.
I'm not saying you won't remember Saturday forever, but if they lose one of the next 2 to a bad Pitt team and a Virginia team at home, Mike, it's going to feel bad.
It'll be disappointing. Yeah. Yes, it'll be disappointing, but he's right. The season has been a success right now, period.
It's house money. And if they slip up,
they could lose the rest of their games. The season's been a success.
That's fine, but as fans, don't you start getting, like, as the season goes on, I understand what you guys are saying, you start to get greedy, you start to get selfish. Now you want a national championship.
No, of course. Of course, and I think that you will be disappointed if you start thinking in those terms too much, because that's real. I mean,
I'm trying to be rational here and apply perspective on the front end of what this season's been and how magical it's already been. And honestly, if they slip up one of the next 2 weeks, I know that's way down the line, I still think they'll have an opportunity to play themselves in.
Stugotz,
that's a play-in game.
It'd be a major disappointment. You don't finish it off now, it'd be a major disappointment.
They're going to play.
Run the table, win a national championship. Go ahead. It's all right in front of you.
That's fine. Okay, but
hey, it's Pitt and it's Virginia. Go beat them.
We can't wait till like the second segment for that take.
Nope.
You want to get in here with the major disappointment take. We have been on the air after the biggest Miami win in 15 years, and you think that the place to go is the cliche sports radio place of, is Miami's season already a success or a failure, combined with it would be a major disappointment if they lost the next 2.
Ring or bust.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're so close. You've had this magical season. You have the turnover chain. You're doing things that no one expected you would ever do. You get this great home field advantage. Your team's is good. Your team is good, and the other teams we thought that were really good are not nearly as good as we thought they were. The Canes have just as good a shot as anyone to get to the Final Four and win a national championship. Go do it. Close it out. Finish it off.
Why are the texters writing in here, stop urinating, your crap is getting old? Where was I
talking
urinating?
about the schedule and stuff,
Where was
and
I
luck and easy and breaks and this and that. And
I just got done saying that the last two games weren't about luck, that they had some luck going into the last two games, but that the last two games, there's nothing bad you can say about the last two games. Nothing. Zero. If you heard something bad come out of my mouth about the last two games, there's not even the Rozier turnovers off of blitzes mattered. You crushed. You won by 18 anyway. He played poorly and you overcame it because it appears your defense is that good. That Notre Dame offense is good, period. Like that it didn't look good on Saturday because of combination of crowd and overwhelming defensive speed. You're not going to be able to convince me that Notre Dame offense isn't good.
No, but people will try. They'll try, because they'll try to diminish Georgia now because Georgia got blown out this weekend, and they'll start asking, well, how good is Georgia? People will start doing that.
It was hilarious trying to watch that Notre Dame offensive line, which on the left side has two potential top 15
They
picks.
look slow.
Watching them trying to pull and having Miami's defensive line get there before the pulling guard.
So slow. In a way, you know how rare it is? You know how rare it is to be watching your television. You have to have like Miami playing a Division II school for the speed differences to jump off that way.
That's when Miami is playing its best game. That's when Miami is truly back. When the power team comes in with all their slow guys telling you they're going to impose your will on them. And you make them look stupid. I
mean, the idea of learning very early in that game, Stugotz, oh, wait a minute. They're 225-pound back that has looked fast every other time I'm watching him play.
Looks slow here.
Can't get the corner.
Yeah.
Can't get there. Well, how does he look slow? When every game I've watched him play this year, he does not look slow. And furthermore, he's running between the tackles, which they didn't dare do.
Yeah, there was no corner for him to get to. There was a defensive end sealing that off. It was ridiculous.
Notre Dame's not a fraud, people. That offense is good. Your defense and that crowd was just that good against it. Their main leader was terrified.
Don Le Batard.
Touchdown Miami's Aquarium Lolita. Come see Flipper. Come see Lolita swim in a bathtub.
Stugotz.
Come see sharks, possibly drugs, swimming in green water. Spend $5 on a wax figure that you'll regret as soon as you get home.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
You guys, I think you guys have it wrong, though not as wrong as I sounded in that clip. If you think that I'm bothered by being wrong on this one, like this is a best case scenario result for me. I was palpably moved. You know how rare that is for me on Saturday to see Miami that happy. Like I mean, you might think, or you know, I'm an ego monster who wants to be right, but I'm telling you, I was palpably, like, you can't imagine, never mind my allegiances to the University of Miami and the city of Miami, you can't envision a scenario where I'm rooting for Brian Kelly, can you? I mean, come on.
Well, I mean.
Give me that. You can't imagine the scenario where I'd be rooting for Brian Kelly.
It's a tough call, man. Brian Kelly or you being right?
Oh, man. If Brian Kelly wins, I'd assure you I'd rather be wrong.
Really?
Yes, I assure you. No matter what it is.
Not sure.
Like, if you say a year in jail, and I say that's not possible, a year in jail. And you say, yeah, you're going to get a year in jail if Brian Kelly wins. And then he loses. No, I'm going to get a year in jail if he loses.
I'm confused.
Yeah.
Whatever. I take a year in jail is the point. The point is I take a year in jail.
For what, though?
Yeah, but
we're
just
to have
what are you taking a year?
Brian Kelly, instead of being right. And what I'm saying to you is, you guys think I don't want to be.
You'd rather be in
wrong.
Jail than be
I'd
right?
rather
rather than Brian Kelly win, you'd rather spend the year in prison.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, it's that. I mean, just say it like that.
Right. Thank you.
It's easy.
Thank you.
Can always count on you to clear things out.
It is amazing that Stugotz was more right with his prediction than anyone making predictions anywhere in the world on that game.
It was a little bizarre, though, that later in that day's show, he had an opportunity in the bucket of death when he pulled the Miami Notre Dame helmet to make a straight-up Miami pick, a team that he thought was going to win 42-0, and he declined on that.
Yeah. I put that helmet back. I took another helmet, and I got Stugotz's picks, and I went 1-5.
And you got the Dolphins tonight.
Yeah. I have 4 gritted death penalties to pay off now. It's absurd. I'm having the worst year ever.
You were so sure that Miami was going to win 42-0 that when you pulled the Miami Notre Dame helmet that allowed you to pick the game and whichever team you thought would win,
right,
you put it back.
I'm always playing for that golden helmet of life, man. There's always something better than what you originally picked in that bucket, and I'm always playing for that. I'm playing for the big prize.
You get so many people fooled, man. When I was walking back to my car after the game, so many people came up to me saying, Stugotz had it! Stugotz had it! And in my mind, I'm like, yeah. I'm saying, yeah, he did, man. He's the best. And you have everybody played like a fiddle.
Well, I was right. They were right.
He was right. That's it. Period. Stugotz was right.
You are a cartoon.
Yep.
How does anyone take you seriously?
Hold on. Can I get to
no.
A texter writes in, tell Dan to stop trying to save face. Guy writes in, look now, company man Dan rising from the ashes, now pretending he's been a Canes fan all season long. You missed the train, fat face. I want Dan to issue an official apology.
Can you pen one?
Yeah, well, no, let's just do it. It's better to do these things from the heart. Do you have those press conference sounds back there? It's been a while since we've done a press conference. That's
got to blow it off the archives.
How long has it been since we did a press conference? It's been
the last time we did it was Mike Lowell apologizing for something.
All right, let's go ahead and dust off.
It's going to take me a minute.
That's fine. I'll wait. I'll prepare.
I have the sound in an actual manila folder. I have to go to a drawer.
Right. I will summon a heartfelt apology. I thought I was wrong enough. I thought Saturday was me getting flogged more than Notre Dame getting flogged.
Right. It's never enough, though, man. They're demanding one. And
well, here's the telephone number if you want to call in and just yell at me. That's fine, too. 786-456-4837. I'm here for it today. I'm totally good with it.
They could just yell at you?
Stugotz, I can't remember the last time I was moved.
How emotional were you? That's interesting because you're normally not like that. The only time we've seen you emotional is that fist pump that you had for Udonis Haslam's baseline jumper at a sports bar.
It was a dunk, you allege.
Oh, it was a dunk. But there was definitely a fist pump. Did you have one of those on Saturday night? Just one? Were you at the game? Where were you?
I'm saying that is as moved as I've been by a sporting event in Miami since the 2003 Marlins?
Wow, really?
Wow.
Or maybe the 1997 Marlins.
How about LeBron deciding to come down here?
No. That was cool and interesting, but no.
How about the Wade Shaq championship?
Or the Ray Allen
show? No, none of the Heat stuff. In fact, after the Wade, you know what was funny about the Wade Shaq championship? That happened in Dallas, and I remember being there, and I was writing on it on Deadline, and I decided right then and there that I was going to pull back from writing because I saw Dwayne Wade's throwing the ball. They're all jumping on top of each other on the court. I'm like, I've written about too many of these on-court celebrations. I wasn't feeling much of anything. I remember being at a party with some writers afterward and being like, I got to do something else.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So the Miami...
wait a minute. That was right when the radio show started.
Yeah, it was around that. And then I think a year and a half later, you covered the Jake Long #1 draft pick selection.
No, was that? What year was that? No,
that was when you went to. Yeah. I think it was a year that it was.
You went to the wrong place.
Yeah, it was at Radio City, and you went to Madison Square Garden.
Well, what year was Jake Long? That also made me very sad.
I'm checking on Jake Long right now.
Something else that made me very sad: walking into the tavern on Friday night.
Yeah, apparently it's a Thursday. It's a Thursday night spot. Tavern.
Friday night wasn't going on?
No. Friday night
I'll tell you those stories next.
Dan Le Batard.
How'd you feel about that? Pretty good?
Yeah, if you say so.
Stugotz.
What are you shaking your head about?
Because I want to get out of here.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I realize that I'm disappointing Miami fans today because they want me to be embarrassed. But you understand why that can't be, though, right, Stugotz?
Of course, yes. I mean, you care deeply about Miami. You care deeply about the school. And certainly there's some embarrassment involved with all the things you said leading up to the game. But ultimately, you're happy with the results.
Right. I'm really wrong. Really wrong.
It's actually a great result. It's a great result for the show because you're really wrong. And it's a great result for you and all of Miami because the Canes they're playing meaningful games. I don't know if they're back yet, but the Canes are playing meaningful games.
They're back, dude.
Okay.
They're back.
I mean, back is winning national championships for the Canes, right?
If you want to keep moving the line, what happened this weekend with the highest-rated game day of the year and the whole nation descending upon us to watch a college football game and to show out like that Saturday night for that game, we're back.
There's another side that had to happen there, and it did. It's Notre Dame coming in playing the way they played. That school, that brand playing Miami. All that stuff helped. I'm just saying that's where the bar should be set because that's what Miami was doing when they were Miami. They were winning national championships.
It doesn't really matter whether we want to have the conversation about they're back or they're not back. You cannot deny that this is exactly the step that one would take for that to be so. That if this would be the starting point on that. So because this is it's a young team, like this is, that's why I'm saying even if they lose the next 3 games, even if they lose to Virginia, they lose to Pittsburgh, they lose in the ACC championship game. Even if that happens, you're still on track to be back because you're going to be one of the top ranked teams in the country next year and have the ability to prove it.
The team's own goal was let's make it to the ACC championship game this year. Let's clear that hurdle. It wasn't. They didn't see themselves as a number 2 team in the nation at this point in the season.
Texter writes in here, Dan, don't stop. You'll curse us. Please tell us how Clemson is better. Keep it going. I do think Clemson is better. I think their quarterback does all the things Rozier does better.
Okay, but that front 7 certainly proves something to you.
Yeah, Miami. But Clemson's front 4 is just as good. Clemson's front 4 is just as good as Miami's front 4.
Yeah, maybe better. Who knows? I'm with you. I'm just saying that front 7. You were worried about Notre Dame and their ability to rush the ball against that defense. They've rushed the ball against everyone else except for Georgia. They did not run the ball against Miami. So I understand the Clemson quarterback's very athletic, but that Canes defense has showed all year, Mike has been right, that they are very, very good and very fast.
A texter writes in, Dan, you can't have it both ways. You want to be able to say, if Notre Dame wins, you win, you are right. If Miami wins, you want to say, I'm happy for the city. I want to bet on this game. Mike Golick is going to have to massage Stugotz's glutes because he had Notre Dame and I had Miami. Not because I thought I can have it both ways, because I thought I was going to lose that bet. I can have it both ways, but now I win that bet.
Yes, you do. Spa day for me. I get those big hands on me. I can't wait.
A glute massage for Stugotz. Golick massages the ass of the ass.
This one's a weird one.
It is a weird one.
Yeah.
The whole setup, it
whole
seemed
thing.
Forced.
Sure, I like it.
The whole thing seemed forced into radio hijinks.
I'm not quite sure about this payoff either. It's just a weird thing.
Yeah,
it is weird.
That's what happens when they set the terms.
I can tell you Golick's a little nervous about it, too.
Which part?
Well, let me find the text here. He doesn't want to do it. He thinks
Which
it'd be
part?
a nice gift in his final week of him doing Mike and Mike as a nice gift for a farewell gift would be letting him out of this bet. He sent me a text, something to that effect.
What a weasel!
Let me see if I can find it.
No,
What
weasel.
a weasel!
You messed up though when he said which part, you should have said my ass. That's the part he's nervous about. My ass.
I'm really hoping as a going away gift for the end of Mike and Mike, we find a way for me not to massage you.
No.
Can you
guys tell me about your weekend? How was game day? You guys who was there? It was you, it was Roy, Chris, Guillermo. You guys shared nothing with me, nothing.
Chris Cote didn't go, but Roy and Billy and myself, we were all out there, and it was pretty amazing to see that show do what it does behind the scenes, and it was an incredible scene. I was talking to several people out there that obviously travel with game day. They said this was the biggest crowd they had seen. It was incredible.
That was it looked like a great scene on television. And those guys were overwhelmed by the scene. It felt like the University of Miami wants so badly to be back that they made it feel like it. They made it feel like it from morning to night. And the nation gave it to you. They watched that game and watched that pregame, watched all of that in record numbers. Guillermo, what was going on behind the scenes with you?
Oh, it was so Miami. There was cajachinas there. There were signs that would never get through if they were in English.
Oh, we need to. You know what? I felt like we failed. We failed last week in not telling people to bring out the signs, and specifically not to bring out the signs in Spanish, because you can get away with anything in Spanish.
I had 4 signs. I was a big winner this week at College Game Day. It was kind of ridiculous.
Nice.
Why did you have 4 signs?
I have no idea. None whatsoever. Someone had my high school track picture on a sign. I don't know how they got that, but they got it, put it on a sign.
Wait a minute. What kind of cult following do you have?
A big one.
Arash is going to run out of Venmo money, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he is.
What
He's
a
in
dumb
trouble.
mistake by him.
So many PJ Fleck is a bozo signs.
Yeah.
How many?
Lots.
I myself saw 4.
Yeah.
I saw 4 PJ Fleck as a bozo signs at a Miami College Game Day. The nation might have been a little confused about that.
Texter writes in, Alex Rodriguez sucked on game day, said nothing of significance to the program, even wore the turnover chain backward, then broke it. He's an imbecile.
I saw a thing on Instagram where he was saying it's the first time UM played Notre Dame since 1984, and I'm like, who's feeding this guy this information?
What I love about A-Rod as UM spokesman is he's almost perfect in that A, didn't go to college at all. Not another college, not a different college, just didn't go to college.
He fits right in with our family.
That's what I'm saying. No, but then the next step on it is the next step on it. Also, in adulthood, criminal fraud. That's Miami.
Yep. He's Miami.
I think he went perfect with his picks. I think he was 12-0.
He was 12-0.
Well, that's because he's perfect.
insane.
Yeah.
How?
12-0.
He's A-Rod.
Well, I'll tell you how. What was interesting, because I saw them. First of all, he picked all big favorites. Except he picked Miami. But what you saw in the picks was A-Rod forever trying to please people. Because, of course, he picked Army and Navy.
That was my favorite part.
I mean, of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
He's so good.
Did you think he was going to pick Duke and SMU? Like, of course he picked Army and Navy.
That guy.
Veterans Day weekend.
It
was great. It was great. I was hoping for something like that to happen with the necklace that he was going to put on. He didn't disappoint. It was the whole A-Rod experience. Did you see the time where he tried to high-five the baby and the baby wasn't having it? And it just lingered for what felt like an eternity until he decided, okay, this is not going to happen.
Imbecile is such an underused word. Like, Guillermo, put this on the poll. Best insult. Idiot, moron, or moron, or imbecile. You can put fool up there, too, if you want. I think imbecile is better than all of them.
I think I'm with you on that. It just feels like more of an insult. Imbecile.
Loon is good.
Yeah, Loon is great.
Recently,
That's my favorite part of the montage, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, you were right, but you did sound like a loon at the time.
Wait a minute. He's not right. He's still not right about that.
Listen, you can't say anyone was wrong other than yourself.
Get back into that shell.
Yeah, you were the only one who wasn't right, okay?
You don't get to talk today.
I was the most wrong. There's no disputing that.
You do not get to talk about this.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. You can't take credit for all 7 are going to be drafted?
This should be like a national holiday every year. We'll call it, like, this is a day every year on the calendar where you simply cannot tell anyone else that they were wrong. That's it.
Yeah, where do you get off?
Yes.
You have a good weekend, though? It was a great weekend.
It was fun, man. It was
one of the best weekends of my life, legit.
Really?
One of the best weekends of my life.
Wait, so what happened with the tavern in the Grove? Like, what happened there?
Oh, my God. We had so much fun in the Grove, except for the part where we went to Fat Tuesdays and Tavern.
Well, I didn't even tell you guys that spot we were standing in Fat Tuesdays, that was the spot where I punched a bouncer in the face, and my friend, that was the exact spot where I hit a bouncer in the face, and then I turned around and I saw a bunch of other bouncers coming my way, and I squared up, but I'm like, oh my God, this is going to go very poorly. And then my big, hairy, cross-eyed friend Todd Klein came running through and like just sort of wrestling body blocked the bodyguards until somebody was able to whisk me away in like a back security place. That was last week. But the tavern and Stugotz, you're going to love this story. I mean, it's just wave after wave of sadness washed over me as I walked into what was my college bar.
Right.
25 years ago. And as I'm walking in on the left side, a big smile greets me from a weathered face I sort of recognize that looks like it's been eaten by the ravages of life. And it's looking straight at me, very happy to see me. And he's like, Dan, do you remember me? You don't remember me, Dan. You don't remember me. And so I stare at him and stare deep within all of that sadness. And I'm like, of course I remember you, Eric. The last time I saw you was 25 years ago, right in this same spot.
You can always count on Bud Light, just like you can always count on Tailgate Terry. Without Tailgate Terry, you wouldn't have cold Bud Lights and 7-layer dip at every pregame. That's 56 layers per season. Just the right amount if you ask Terry. Tailgate Terry is famous among friends. He deserves a Bud Light. Enjoy responsibly. Bud Light Beer, AB St. Louis, Missouri.